Philip Stewart Robinson was a British naturalist born in India in 1847 in Chunar, the son of Army chaplain Julian Robinson and Harriet Woodcock. He attended Marlborough College and in 1869 he returned to India to work on his father's newspaper, The Pioneer. In 1876 he married Sarah Elizabeth King, the marriage ending in a scandalous divorce in 1889. He returned to Britain in 1877 to work on the Daily Telegraph, reporting on the Zulu War and the Second Afghan Campaign. He was twice war correspondent for the Daily Chronicle, first in 1882 in Egypt and in 1885 in Sudan. He was a correspondent in Cuba from 1898, which got him imprisoned. He died in 1902. Edward K. Robinson was a British naturalist and supporter of Kipling, born in 1855 in Nainital, India, and attended the Junior Proprietary School and College in Cheltenham. He was editor of the Lahore Civil and Military Gazette, where he was assisted by Kipling from 1885 to 1895, when he returned to Britain. In 1887 he married Florence Gordon. He wrote works on nature such as Birds of Our Country, joined the Zoological Society of London, and in 1905 co-founded the British Empire's Naturalists Association. He died in 1928 in Hampton Wick. Henry Perry Robinson was a British journalist. Born in 1859, he attended Westminster and Christchurch. He was an important correspondent for the Times, which he joined in 1900. During World War I, he was nearly taken prisoner by the Germans when sent to Belgium to report. After the war, he wrote books on natural history, was knighted by George V, and died in 1930. In 1902, all three collaborated on the collection Tales by Three Brothers. The fantastic stories from Africa come from Phil Robinson's 1891 Under the Punka. The Last of the Vampires is a grim story of a man who finds a giant humanoid bat creature alive in Peru, but struggles to bring it to the outside world alive, weakened by fever and driven to despair by the sheer wall of jungle standing in his way, as if his own strength to hold the vampire under control, ebbing day by day. The Gift of the Fern Seed is Henry Robinson's overlong novella. A man is pressured by a Native American medicine man he hates to drink a random mystery drug by being called a coward. It makes him mute, invisible, and unable to touch anything for days, until for no reason it randomly wears off, just as the medicine man is about to murder the local mission's priest out of jealousy. War in Europe is the story of a millionaire who manipulates France and Germany to the brink of war for the sake of profit, regrets it, and then his wife and daughter die in a train crash to drive the point home even more. The Hunting of a Soko has a man hunt a missing link in Africa, who his hunters keep mistaking for one of their own, until he succeeds and regrets having done so. Medusa is the story of a woman who preys on men who love her as a psychic vampire, the narrator escaping only by a hair thanks to one of her former victims. The Man-Eating Tree is a brief affair of a man in Africa discovering a man-eating tree that eats one of his men. Good but too brief. The Gold Heart is the story of a heart-shaped gold nugget, which keeps mysteriously disappearing whenever someone obtains it, usually killing the person in possession of it. The mystery is a bit too vague and never explained. Most of the rest are more conventional melodrama. The Extra Wife is somewhat interesting due to the insistence by the man selling his mine that the contract must include the sale of his Native American wife, and refusing to see the legality of it, with tragic consequences. The Only Woman is only notable because of how obvious it is the woman will be trampled to death by an elephant, and how the writer keeps delaying the obvious.